interviewing Emma Turner, who's the young farming champion for Archibald 2018.
How many sheep are on your farm?
So we usually have around 28,000, but because it's a bit dry at the moment, we've probably dropped right back to around 20,000.
Do you use technology when processing your sheep?
So we don't use technology because we only use the PIC code tags because they're a little bit too expensive for the amount of sheep we have. But for my honours sheep, which I'm doing at home, we are actually using technology on those sheep. So we are recording into their ear tags how much they weigh, if they were like shorn 6 monthly, shorn at 12 monthly, so we can record all that data into their ear tag, which is pretty cool. So not all of the sheep, but for a special 700 we are, yes.
We have heard that you have a pet sheep. What is its name?
My pet sheep's name is Bubby, and he's not a bubby anymore.
Go.
How do you enforce biosecurity on your sheep/farm?
Recently, as a part of the New South Wales LLS program, biosecurity has been heavily enforced. So now you have to have a big folder on your property and you have to record every load of grain that comes in for potential weeds that could come onto the property, every load of hay for potential weeds that could come in through the hay, every person and vehicle who enters and leaves the property. We also like to really make sure our fences are really well maintained to keep all our sheep inside our property and to stop strange sheep straying in. So we're pretty strict on our biosecurity and we like to check everything regularly to make sure it's all keeping up with the government standards.
How are sheep affected by the climate? Are they contributing to the climate change?
Very heavily affected by the climate, as from where I am we rely solely on rainfall to produce food, otherwise we have to buy in hay and grains. So we've noticed that the weather has been shifting. Our rains are coming later than what they used to come. They used to start before August and now they're kind of coming start of winter. So we lamb in August, so we've had to make some dramatic changes in our own property plan to deal with this. Droughts are becoming more often. It's getting hotter when it shouldn't be getting hot in winter. Our winters are getting warmer. So they're very heavily affected by climate change just because the changing weather patterns heavily affect our sheep. I wouldn't really say they're contributing a lot to climate change just because they're sheep and they kind of sit in their paddock and they don't, like, we're not driving tractors and stuff like that. But when it comes to the processing of wool, they are using a lot of natural resources, but all of Australia's wool is actually processed mainly offshore in China, but they're actually getting really strict on their climate outputs as well. So it uses a lot of water to wash the wool and it goes through the mechanicalisation, industrial processes to come in as greasy wool and come out as your jumper. So, but they are cracking down on it and are trying to make it of a less impact on climate change.
How many people work in the wool industry?
A lot of people work within the wool industry. I'm not actually sure what the definite number is, but there's so many pathways you can take within wool. So you can be on farm like my parents and my brothers are, so you could be mustering in the sheep, looking after the sheep. You could be a shearer, you could be a rouseabout, or you could go to moving between farms. So you could be a truck driver, you could then be a stock and station agent, you could be a wool seller, you could be a wool trader, you could be a wool buyer. You could then even go further out and you could be a fashion designer, you could work in interior design and using wools in your carpets in your homes. You can even go all the way out into being a builder and putting in the installation and you're still being a part of the wool industry in a way. So there's so many different pathways, it's really hard to put a definitive number on it.
What do you like most about working in the wool industry?
I like the wool industry because there's so much room for change. So no day is ever the same. So at the moment I work part-time on the family property in my holidays. So doing that, no day is ever the same. There's always a new tank that needs checking or a new trough that needs fixing or sheep to be fed. But I also love that I could be, like, I'm studying my wool science degree at the moment and doing my honours project that's on the wool industry. So there's so many different pathways you can take that nothing is set, nothing is definitive. You could wake up one day and decide that you no longer want to be working and you want to be a full-time scientist, but still you could still be working within the wool industry itself, which is something that I think is really amazing and unique to this industry, and that's what I really love about it.
Where do you send your wool?
So we load our wool onto a truck, and from there it goes to Melbourne where it's sold, and most of Australia's wool goes to China for processing.